Hey, hello, how are ya? And welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV. Look here! Ripe corpses, let's get them! But first... Oh, son of a bitch. Gotta kill a few things first, I guess. There we go. So how can this tiny Lalafell pick up 3 ripe corpses and bring them back wherever I need to bring them back? Just doesn't make sense. It's good to see you returned. Were you able to secure the remains of our fallen? Yes, they turned into pretty little flowers. With the bodies given back proper to the earth, the souls will find their way across to the other side. You have done a noble deed this day. I thank you. Now then, what are the amalj'aa? Did you see any? Surely such massive monstrosities as they cannot conceal their presence, much less take their quarry unawares. Ah, so there were amalj'aa remaining after all. I feared as much. Their part in the low-born disappearing is all but confirmed, but I sense there is more to this than meets the eye. The occasional amalj'aa raiding party would not account for people going missing in these kinds of numbers. The total's too great, and the questions too many. It would not surprise me in the least to learn of another hand in this. But whose? Countless travelers pass through Drybone every day, and even if it were one among them, how do we best discover who might be implicit in these vanishings? Dun, 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 dun. What say we turn it on to the common folk themselves? It may be among them that we find the reasons for these vanishings. To well forbid it be so. There's a merchant by the name of Ungus who was born here in Drybone and grew up in the Golden Bazaar. A rough character, but he But he knows the people here better than anyone else. I wager he's at the inn, quaffing away the day's earnings. Here, I'll write a note for you to show to him, else he's not like to speak to you. Ungust. Erngusts. Oh, gods be damned! You're the bloody adventurer who threatened me back in Ul'dah! Gasp! What in the 7 hells do you want with me now? Well... You're supposed to help me, dear friend. Busy people, please help. Yours, Isambard. Folk around here as weary as they come. They'll turn tail and run if you so much as pass wind nearby. Played them all for fools and coaxed some hard labor out of them, I did. If anything, they're even more timid than before, what with all the disappearances. You can go talk to them yourself if you don't believe me. I should, like, put you in jail or something, you asshole. Hungry beggar! Please, miss, just leave me be. Uh-oh. Alright. Devious derelict. I have nothing to say but this. I'll take who or whatever has been feeding off us slow folk. I can't talk today at all. What is talking? Petrified pauper. What do you want from me? I don't know anything, I swear. Please don't kill me. Okay. Just as I told you, wasn't it? A lot of them are terrified. There's been talk of folk getting abducted, but if you ask me, they simply up and moved on to a better place. This place isn't exactly close to the soul, if you know what I'm saying. Welcome back to Chuchune. Have you learned aught of import? I see. I suppose I should have expected as much from Ungus. Well, another thought occurred to me in your absence. The common folk are nothing if not fervent in their religious beliefs. Perhaps if they speak freely to their gods, then the clergy may know something of use. If we would know what the common folk speak of to their gods, we've no better place to ask them than at the church of St. Adamallandama. I said it right this time. It is a small and humble church found in the northwest of here. And so long as you're headed there, might I ask you to deliver this embalmed corpse? You're used to holding on to corpses, so I figure I just ask you. A more request I grant you, but must be born to burial, and I trust none more than you to see it done. Seek out a man named Marquis. He tends to the graves of the Lichyard. Lichyard. We will tell you where the body is to be interred. K.O. Hey there, sir. I'm Marquis, yes. A body? Of course. There have been so many bodies of late. I apologize, miss. If you seek his place of burial, then there is an empty grave atop the ridge. Take the path and lay him to rest there. To do all the work. All the work. There we go. Gravesite. Just put that body right there. Do something with that corpse. Put rocks on it, I guess? I don't know what I just did. Alright. We are all well in Thal's realm. What? Missing people? I'm afraid I cannot help you. But maybe Sister Orson can. She's been kind to me. Everyone. Everyone has been so kind. I don't know why, though. Why? Pardon me. You'll find Sister Orson within the church walls. I hear you have done us the service of bearing a fallen soul. Please accept our gratitude and extend it to Isambard when you next do see him. You seek knowledge of missing Drybone inhabitants? It is true I am closer to the people than any other of the order. I confide in them, and they in me. When they wish to speak to their keeper, Thal, I am the medium through which they do. Should I learn anything pertinent, I will be sure to share the information with you. I only wish Marquis would be more helpful in the matter. I pray he did nothing to offend. He saw terrible things during the calamity. His scars were deep. Indeed, he seems to now prefer the company of the dead over the living. While tragic, I fear such behavior ill befits the church. I received word not too long ago that one of our recent visitors, a man called Thancred, I believe, took offense at his conduct. I must have words with Marquis, and soon. Thank you, Chuchune. A burial is no easy thing, even when the departed is a stranger. Were you able to learn aught of the missing comic folk? You've been keeping rather busy yourself lately, haven't you, Chuchune? Oh, Thancred. A pleasure, my dear Isambard. The name is Thancred, and I share a passion with you and our mutual friend here for learning what has become of these missing persons and why. I too spoke with Ungus, more terms than I care to count. There seems to be some truth in this notion of the common folk speaking their secrets only to those in service to the gods. Prostration, prayer, penance, abject deeds done behind closed doors, away from prying eyes. Who better to take the pious unawares than she who takes confession, the good Sister Orson herself? Orson? She couldn't! Even the most beautiful roses have thorns, my friend, and you would be wise to keep an eye to this rose. Still, the Lich Keeper Marquis. I'd swear to the 12 that I'd seen that face elsewhere before. Dun dun dun! Dun dun dun! Sister Orson, it cannot be, though she is wont to travel to the Golden Bazaar on her own. It is not uncommon to see her speaking to the children. But no, it could not be she, could it? I grow weary of these suspicions. I know there is one child in particular that she's fond of. Pray, seek out the boy, Chuchune, and see if you cannot glean something from him about Orson's activities. Okay. These kids are the same height that I am. Come on. Please help! Sister Orson went out on her own and hasn't come back. She always reads to me right here about Thor and the Order on the other side. I told her I lost my shiny thing and she went looking for it. But what if the monsters outside hurt her? Please find her. Time to save the day. Rotting pikemen! I always knew it. I got nothing. Helping, we're aiding, we're aiding, we're aiding. You are the one from the church. Thank goodness you arrived when you did. It seems their gratitude is yours yet again. You spoke with the child? Yes, well, I was able to find his lost trinket. It is a ring given to him by his mother before she passed. I will see it safely back to him. Oh. Sister Orson was attacked outside the Golden Bazaar? Gods forbid. I will secure a room at the inn for her should she require any rest. Searching for the mementos of Orson? And risking your own well-being in the doing, no less? Certainly not the dastardly deeds Thancred would have us believe. Nope. Level 22? Oh no! I'm well glad I reserved that inn room for Sister Orson. It seems she received greater injuries from her attackers than she initially let on. Thankfully, she is expected to make a full recovery. But now, on to the matter at hand. Thancred came looking for you once more. He left word that he'll be waiting at the amalj'aa encampment to the southeast. I pray the two of you are able to uncover some evidence regarding these disappearances. Dun 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 dun. Ah, there you are, Chuchune. So good of you to come. Indeed, I've heard all about good Sister Orson. Isenberg said her wounds were serious. It would seem my suspicions about the poor Rose were misplaced. But false though they were, perhaps my suspicions were not entirely without merit. Whilst following Sister Orson near the Golden Bazaar, a band of amalj'aa caught my eye. I tracked them as far as this encampment, but, well, let us say that I would much prefer to keep my distance and remain here. This, of course, brings me to why I requested you, Chuchune. Would you be so kind as to take a look inside? What, are you too lazy to look inside yourself? Jeez. Give grunt work to Chuchune, huh? Let the newbie handle it, huh? Queer leaflet. Well, did anything tickle your fancy? This leaflet. See the wealth of knowledge to the hands of your children. It looks to be some sort of assembly to provide the poor with work. The lettering, though, atrocious, is it not? And these bits about Ul'dah seem somewhat less than studied. I find it hard to believe one among the order penned this. Pray take this to the inn at Camp Drybone. Let us see what Sister Orson makes of it. My savior comes again. To what do I owe the honor this day? Can you look at this? What is this? Blasphemous. These are not our teachings at all. This was not made by any true brother or sister of the order. Of that I can assure you. Come to think of it, weeks ago the church was plagued by missing garments. Could someone be posing as a priest of the order to deceive the people? The plot thickens, Chuchune. Our culprit pretends to be a priest to lend credence to his deception. There is no doubt an irony in there somewhere. But I suspect we have a worthy adversary on our hands. I shall consider how best to handle this. For now, tell Isenberg what we have learned here. Okay. Posing as a priest? To think. These troubling notions aside, it is gratifying to finally be able to move this investigation forward. Thank you once again, Chuchune. I shall keep my ears and eyes open, now more than ever. I'm afraid I have not seen any unusual activity, nor have any at this camp given me cause to doubt them. But unless we can identify the culprit, and soon, more innocents will fall victim. Do not despair just yet, my friend. An idea occurs to me. Our suspect is posing as a priest, using leaflets bearing false promises to lure the poor. Let Chuchune and me serve like with like by posing as impoverished souls in need of succor. I dare to hope that this will yield us the answers we seek. It will be a dangerous undertaking, but you two are more than capable of looking after yourselves. I'm next to useless in a battle, but I can supply the garments for the disguise. These old tunics and slops should serve your purposes, your needs, and your purposes, and everything else you want to know, so long as you don't mind the smell and the stains. These will serve very well. You have my thanks. Listen, Chuchune. So as to lay the foundation of our little ploy, we must make it widely known that more vagrants have arrived at camp and are just desperate for coin. To this end, I want you to don the old garments Isambard has lent us, and beg for work around the camp. Before long, the false priest should catch wind and approach us. Will our ploy work? We will find out next time. If you like this and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification too. Like, comment if you feel like doing it. If you have a great... I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you again next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.